There was a time, not so long ago, when your person held a belief deep within their heart that you would never truly allow them to walk away from this connection. In the landscape of their mind and soul, you represented something constant, something unwavering, something that would always be there no matter how far they wandered or how long they stayed away. You were the one who would chase after them through the darkness, the one who would forgive their transgressions, the one who would hold sacred space for this profound connection regardless of what circumstances arose or what mistakes were made along the way. In the past, whenever they chose to ghost you or disappear without any warning or explanation, it was always you who eventually reached out. You were the one who extended the olive branch, the one who tried to mend what had been broken, the one who held hope in your heart that somehow your effort and your dedication would bring the two of you back into balance and harmony. You believed with every fiber of your being that because this was a twin flame connection, something divinely orchestrated and cosmically significant, it was your sacred duty to nurture it, to be the bridge that brought understanding, compassion, and healing to this bond that seemed to transcend ordinary human connection. But now, something profound has shifted in the energetic field between you. The dynamics have transformed in ways that have caught your person completely off guard. You have stopped chasing. You have stopped pleading. You have stopped trying to convince them of the love that already runs so deep within your soul, the love that needs no validation or proof because it simply exists as a fundamental truth of your being. This change in your energy, this shift in your approach, has startled them in ways they never anticipated. It has forced them to turn inward and look at themselves with a clarity and honesty they had never before possessed. The separation between you was not meaningless or random. It was not a cruel twist of fate or an unfortunate series of events. Rather, it has been one of the most profound and transformative lessons for your person, a period of spiritual education that they needed in order to evolve into who they are meant to become. During this time apart, they have had countless hours to reflect deeply on how they treated you and how arrogantly they may have behaved. They have had to confront the uncomfortable truth that they assumed, with absolute certainty, that no matter what they did, no matter how they acted, no matter how long they stayed away, you would always be there waiting with open arms. They took your presence for granted in a way that now fills them with regret and remorse. As they look back now with eyes that have been opened by pain and distance, they realize with stunning clarity how much they took you and this sacred connection for granted. They see now that the love you offered was not something common or easily replaceable. It was not something they could find just anywhere or with just anyone. It was something rare, something divine, something unconditional in nature. It was a love that came without strings attached, without demands, without conditions that needed to be met before it could be given freely. Your growth and transformation during this period of separation have not gone unnoticed by them, even from a distance. They can feel the change in your energy even though you may be physically far apart. There is something different about you now, something that radiates from your being even across the miles that separate you. You no longer carry the same emotional weight or desperate longing that once defined your interactions. You have shifted into a space of acceptance and genuine peace, and that energetic release, that letting go, is actually pulling them back toward you even more powerfully than any amount of chasing or pleading ever could have done. Your person, too, is undergoing a period of deep and often painful transformation in their physical world and everyday reality. Everything in their life seems to be changing all at once. Relationships are shifting or ending. Work situations are transforming. Priorities are being completely reorganized. Even the fundamental way they view themselves and their place in the world is being challenged and reconstructed from the ground up. They are facing moments of intense challenge and profound self-realization. These tough experiences are forcing them to confront fears they have carried for years, insecurities that have shaped their behaviors and choices, and the emotional walls they have built over time to protect themselves from vulnerability and potential hurt. It is not an easy process. It is often lonely, confusing, and deeply uncomfortable. Despite all of this turmoil and upheaval in their life, they keep finding their thoughts returning to you again and again. No matter what they try to focus on, no matter how hard they attempt to occupy their mind with other matters, your energy continues to surface in their heart and consciousness. It is as if the universe itself keeps reminding them that there is unfinished business still lingering between you, that this connection was never meant to simply fade away into memory and become another chapter in their past that holds no relevance to their present or future. Meanwhile, you have reached a stage of complete and total surrender. You have stopped resisting the natural flow and process of this connection. You have stopped clinging desperately to specific outcomes or timelines. You have allowed divine timing to take over, trusting that whatever is meant to unfold will do so in the perfect moment and in the perfect way. That surrender has created a massive energetic shift, not only within your own being and your own spiritual field, but within them as well. By letting go of control and releasing your grip on how things should be, you have actually invited them to awaken to deeper truths. They are beginning to see things more clearly now than they ever have before. They understand at a level that goes beyond intellectual comprehension that what once seemed confusing or overwhelming or impossibly complicated was simply a reflection of their own inner chaos, their own unresolved wounds, their own inability to face what was real and true. Your calmness, your acceptance, your peace have become a mirror that shows them what true love and spiritual maturity actually look like when embodied by another person. For the first time in their journey, they are beginning to grasp what this connection truly means on a soul level. They are starting to understand that this is not just about romance or companionship or fulfilling emotional needs. This is about spiritual evolution, about two souls recognizing each other across time and space, about a bond that was formed long before this lifetime and will continue long after. Deep down in the quiet spaces of their heart where truth cannot be denied, your person longs for reconnection with every part of their being. They crave real, authentic, heartfelt communication with you. They want to see you with their physical eyes, to be in your presence again, to feel your energy not just spiritually but physically, tangibly. Words alone do not seem enough anymore to express what lives inside them. They want to touch you, to hold you in their arms, to look into your eyes and reassure themselves that this bond is still real, still alive, still sacred and unbroken despite the distance and the silence that has stretched between you. The pull toward you has grown so strong, so undeniable, so magnetic that they are beginning to consider risking everything for it. They know that reaching out might change everything in their life. They know that opening this door again could expose them to vulnerability and potential pain. But they also know, with a certainty that grows stronger each day, that doing nothing would be an even greater loss. The regret of never speaking their truth, of never expressing what lives in their heart, would haunt them far more than any rejection or complication that might arise from honest communication. They have come to realize that the love they feel for you is not something temporary or conditional. It is not something that will fade with time or distance or circumstances. It is something eternal, something that continues to grow and deepen even through silence, even through separation, even through all the challenges that life has placed between you. This realization has fundamentally changed how they view not just you, but love itself. They are finally beginning to understand your worth in ways they could not see before when they were blinded by their own fears and limitations. All the lessons that came through pain, all the confusion that arose during separation, all the silence that felt unbearable at times, all of it has served a higher purpose. It has all been working to awaken them to the truth of this connection, to help them see what was always there but that they were not yet ready to perceive or honor. They see you now as someone who stood strong even in their absence, even when you had every reason to crumble or give up or close your heart forever. They see you as someone who transformed instead of breaking, someone who used the pain as fuel for growth rather than as an excuse to become bitter or hardened. That strength you have demonstrated inspires them deeply and humbles them profoundly. It makes them want to rise to your level, to match your energy and your spiritual maturity rather than drain it or bring you down to a lower vibration. Your person is also experiencing moments of deep emotional vulnerability that they are not accustomed to feeling or expressing. Love has begun to overtake their carefully constructed defenses. The walls they built around their heart, walls they thought were impenetrable and necessary for survival, are starting to crumble piece by piece. They are realizing with painful clarity that running from you was never truly about you or anything you did or did not do. It was always about their own fear of being truly seen, their fear of being completely known, their fear of allowing someone to witness all of who they are, including the parts they judge as unworthy or unlovable. Now, however, the idea of losing you completely, of never having the chance to reconnect and rebuild what was lost, has become unbearable to them. It keeps them awake at night. It occupies their thoughts during the day. It creates an ache in their chest that refuses to go away no matter how much they try to distract themselves or convince themselves that they are fine without you. They know in their bones that it is time to be honest with themselves and with you. They feel a growing urgency, a sense that time is running out, that if they do not speak now and express what lives in their heart, they might lose their chance forever. This is not pressure from you or from external circumstances. This is an internal knowing, a soul-level awareness that the time for hiding and running and pretending has come to an end. This love between you has reached a critical turning point. Your person is no longer content with distance or half-truths or surface-level interactions. They want to lay everything out in the open, to speak from the deepest place in their heart, to show you the full depth and breadth of what they have been feeling but could not express before because they did not yet have the courage or the self-awareness or the emotional maturity to do so. They want to tell you how the separation changed them fundamentally, how it opened their eyes to the mistakes they made and the opportunities they squandered. They want you to know how much they admire the way you have handled everything with grace and dignity. They want you to understand that you were never forgotten, not even for a single day. You were never replaced by anyone or anything else. You have remained sacred in their heart, occupying a space that belongs only to you and that no other person could ever fill. Soon, when the timing aligns perfectly with divine will and when they have gathered enough courage to act despite their fears, they will take that leap of faith. They will risk their pride, their comfort, their ego, even their fear of rejection, because they finally understand with absolute clarity that the love they feel for you is worth everything. It is worth any risk, any vulnerability, any potential pain that might come from opening their heart completely. This is not just desire or nostalgia for what once was. This is not them romanticizing the past or trying to escape present difficulties by returning to familiar comfort. This is something sacred and profound. This connection has taught them who they truly are beneath all the masks and defenses. It has shown them what love truly means when it is stripped of ego and control. It has revealed what they need to heal within themselves in order to become whole and to be capable of genuine partnership. So now, as your energies continue to shift and align with each other and with divine timing, your person is preparing themselves to step forward. The silence that has wrapped around this connection like a heavy blanket is beginning to break. Light is starting to penetrate the darkness. They are ready to return to you, not as the person who left you hurt and confused, but as someone who has been transformed by love, by loss, and by profound realization. And deep down in the place where truth resides, they know that this time it is not about chasing or proving anything to anyone. It is not about winning you back like a prize or convincing you of their worth. It is about meeting you exactly where you are right now with complete truth, with genuine humility, and with an open heart that is finally ready to give and receive love in its purest form. I am trying with everything in me to align my words with my actions because I can no longer bear the thought of living a life without you in it. Your absence has already begun to feel like a slow, unending torture that eats away at my peace of mind and my sense of wholeness every single day. I find myself constantly thinking about you, missing you in ways I never thought possible, and realizing more and more with each passing day how deeply and truly I love you. This is not just a passing phase or a momentary attachment that will fade when something new comes along. This is something that has taken root in the very depths of my soul. Every part of me longs for you in ways that are both beautiful and painful. And I know now more than ever before that losing you would mean losing a fundamental part of myself, a part that makes me who I am at my core. I need you to believe me when I say that I am taking full responsibility for my mistakes and for the ways I have hurt you or let you down. I know that words alone mean very little without action to back them up. But I want you to know with absolute certainty that I am not just speaking out of guilt or out of fear of losing you permanently. I am speaking from a place of genuine realization and authentic growth that has been hard-won through painful self-reflection. I have seen clearly where I went wrong and how my actions, or sometimes my lack of action when action was needed, have caused you pain and doubt. I see now that love cannot just be spoken. It has to be demonstrated, nurtured with consistent care, and protected from harm. And that is exactly what I want to do for you from this point onward. I want to show you through my daily choices and my consistent behavior that I am willing to change, to grow, and to prove that my love for you is not just a promise made with words but a commitment that I live out through action. Even though we are apart right now and the distance between us feels vast and heavy, I do not search for comfort or distraction in anyone else. You are my only and ultimate choice. There is no other person, no other face, no other heart that could ever replace what you mean to me. My loyalty, my desire, my entire heart all belong to you and you alone. Even in this painful separation that tests me daily, I remain faithful, not because I have to or because I am afraid of consequences, but because my soul does not allow me to be otherwise. You are not just someone I love. You are someone I feel deeply connected to on a level that transcends the physical, as if our souls are intertwined in a way that distance or silence or time cannot undo. Your memories bring me to tears more often than I would like to admit, especially when I am alone with my thoughts. Whenever I sit in silence, the quiet around me feels heavier than ever before. It is in those moments of stillness that I realize with striking clarity how much you have become a part of my world and my sense of self. I remember your voice and the unique way you express yourself. I remember your laughter and how it used to fill the space between us with joy. I remember the way your eyes lit up when you smiled, revealing the beautiful soul that lives inside you. I remember every small detail that made being with you feel so comforting and so right. I miss those moments desperately. I miss the ordinary ones, especially the ones we might have taken for granted while we were living them. Now those simple moments have turned into treasures that I hold close to my heart. They are memories that keep me going when life feels difficult, and yet they also hurt me because they remind me of what is currently absent from my daily experience. The fire that burns within me for you has not faded even slightly. In fact, it has only grown stronger and more intense with time and distance. The same fire that once brought us together in the beginning still burns fiercely inside me today. It is a fire fueled by love, by longing, by regret for past mistakes, and by hope for what might still be possible between us. You know that I love you deeply. I always have loved you, even in the moments when my actions failed to demonstrate that truth clearly. And I know that you felt that love too. You experienced it. You knew it was real. But I also know with painful awareness that my actions sometimes did not reflect the depth and sincerity of my feelings. I know that I made you question whether what we had was real or lasting or something you could truly count on. And for that disconnect between my feelings and my actions, I am truly and deeply sorry. I wish with everything in me that I could undo those moments that made you doubt my heart or question my commitment. If I had the power to turn back time and do things differently, I would go back to the very beginning of our connection and do everything with more consciousness, more care, more intentionality. I would hold you tighter when we were together. I would listen to you more carefully when you spoke. I would never let pride or fear or ego create distance between us the way I allowed it to do. I would remind you every single day, through both words and actions, how much you mean to me and how grateful I am for your presence in my life. I would show you consistently that you are cherished, valued, respected, and deeply loved in ways that would leave no room for doubt or insecurity.